In Ivanovo, Russia, the police massively handed out summons to men of military age in the last days of October. Citizens are stopped on the streets, in state institutions, shopping centers and at the exits of grocery stores in the last days of October.
You do not have the right to issue a summon, you have no right to stand here and pick up the use, you have no right.
But no arguments against the police or military commissars work. When receiving a summons, there is only one way to go: to the front line. Lucky are those who do not get there immediately, but after at least a few weeks of training. But almost all recruits talk about problems with equipment and weapons.
Shot. Allah Akbar. Someone shot himself when he saw these machine guns. I don't know how to shoot it, but at least the muzzle is spinning.
From the very beginning of the full-scale invasion, relatives have been searching for the missing Russian military on their own, on Ukrainian websites and on Ukrainian Telegram and YouTube channels. The Russian Ministry of Defense does not publish any lists. Sometimes relatives are lucky and find the missing alive in Ukrainian captivity.
Where are you from? Belgorod, Lipetsk, Belgorod region, Vladimir.
One of these prisoners of war was recognized by his wife from a video on social networks. She and the relatives of the other man in the video immediately began writing to the local commissariats, so that the Ministry of Defense officially recognized the prisoners of war and included them in the exchange lists.
I'm the wife of a mobilized man who did not get in touch for 2 weeks after he was sent from Valuiki, in his words, to Luhansk. Today at 10:01 in the morning he got in touch via video and said that he was held captive. They were thrown to the front line on the very first day they were captured today. The guys, Ukrainians, he says, are normal. There were no demands or threats. When I asked where he was, he could not answer. But when I asked how to help, he told me to call Latkov. Anastasia Kitsenko, wife of the prisoner of war, on social media.
Media resource Important Stories has collected stories of prisoners of war abandoned by Russia, but for whom their families are fighting. A former Transneft security guard who had gone missing was found by his girlfriend on her own. She found out that he was held captive, but not a single official appeal helped her. The young woman told the Important Stories that Andrei is not included on any list, as if he were at home.
They were told that they would not participate in hostilities, but they were thrown in Chervony Liman after they crossed the border. Then they said that it was a mistake because the guys were unprepared. For someone it was a mistake, and now there are hundreds of missing people. And the video in Ukrainian, they say that Andrei was packing his things and writing a leaf, but he was not allowed to go home. This is true. Even his fellow servicemen whom I found said that the guys from Transneft wanted to break their contract and go home, but they were not allowed to do that, and they were thrown to the front line. Alina Maximovskaya, girlfriend of captive Andrei Zavyalov, in an interview with the Important Stories online edition.
At the same time, professional Russian military men cannot withstand the pressure of the armed forces of Ukraine and massively write reports on the termination of contracts. This is evidenced by a new telephone conversation between the occupiers, intercepted by the security service of Ukraine. They complain about huge losses, serious mistakes of the Russian command. They also claim that they are no longer ready to die for no reason. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Natalia Husak, UATV News.